Now in this video we'll discuss about how to access a two-dimensional array using concept of pointers. So this is pointers and 2D arrays, that is two-dimensional arrays. Okay. Now if you consider here generally in array, let us suppose I'm considering an array which is a two-dimensional array like a of 2 3. This denotes basically an array called a which contains how many rows? So there are 2 rows and 3 columns. There are 2 rows and 3 columns. So row number and then these are all column numbers, right? Okay. So if you look at these locations, this is representing a of 0 0. Okay. And this is representing a of 0 1. This is a of 0 2. This is representing a of 1 0, and this is a of 1 1. This is a of 1 2, like this. Now when I want to store a value in this particular location, we generally write address of a of 0 0. Okay, and this is clearly equivalent to writing star of a plus 0 plus 0 using pointers. Okay, and suppose if you want to display this content, that is a of 0 0 content you want to display, okay, using printf statement, then its equivalent is in pointers it is a star of a plus 0 plus 0. Okay, so these two are equivalent. Similarly, these two are equivalent. Now let me show you here clearly. When I mean the representation as suppose a is the array, okay, int a of 2 3, the same array. What does this a represents? Okay, so when I mean a, it actually represents a pointer to the first row. Okay, so this is representing pointer to first row directly. So when I write a plus I, it represents pointer to the ith row. Okay, pointer to ith row. Now for example, if I write star of a plus I, and this is representing pointer to the first element in the ith row. Okay, pointer to very first element in ith row. Suppose if I write star of a plus I plus j, so this represents pointer to the ith element in the ith row. Okay, pointer to ith element. Okay, so in the ith row. Now when I mean star of a plus I plus j, this represents the value that is stored inside ij location. Okay, so which is nothing but value stored at, okay, in array representation you can see value stored at a of ij location. So this is the meaning here. Okay, So now whenever we want to basically read the elements into a two-dimensional array, okay, and also display the elements from the two-dimensional array, so we can write like this. First, I will include the respective header file stdio.h. Now, using this main function, okay. So first, I'll consider an array called x, and its size as 5 by 5, okay. And also, I'll consider pq for indicating row size and column size. I and j are the loop variables here. So now first we will print, okay, or display the user to enter the order of matrix. Enter the order of matrix. So you need to read this order of the matrix. %d, %d, address of P and address of Q, because P is representing the row size and Q is representing the column size here. And then you can prompt the user to enter order of matrix, that is corresponding elements. Number of elements is equal to P into Q, right? So I can write enter %d elements here, and the number of elements should be P into Q number of elements. Okay. So once users started entering those many elements, you can read them inside the array, okay, using for loop I equal to 0 to iterate through the row. So I less than pi plus plus, and similarly for j equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus. Now using this scanf statement, we can read by writing like this %d. So generally in arrays you will write address of a of, or whatever array name is. Here I have considered array name as x, so you have to write address of x of ij, and we have already discussed here address of x of ij is nothing but you have to write like this, okay, that is star of x plus I plus j. So using pointers, its equivalent is star of x plus I plus j. Clear? Like this. Now this is using a scanf statement we are reading, and later we are going to display the content here, so in the form of a matrix, so which is a two-dimensional array. There is matrix content, you can display like this. So while displaying, again you can use this for loop I equal to 0, I less than p, I plus plus, this is indicating the row, and then column wise for j equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus. Okay. Now you can print like this, printf %d. This is printing purpose, you have to write star of x plus I plus j, okay, because this is equivalent to writing simply x of ij, okay. So for two dimensions you require two stars to access the content inside that location, okay. And then you have to use new line, so that after every row it will move to the new line to print the next line, and then close this. So this is the format that we use here in order to basically read and write contents of the two-dimensional array with the help of pointers. Okay. Now let us implement this and see if there are any changes needed. So here first I'll include the respective header file stdio.h, and inside this main function I'll consider a sample array which is a two-dimensional array. Okay. Consider there are two rows and three columns, and I'll go for compile time initialization for the first time. Okay, 4, 5, 6, and I'll just display these elements using pointers. Okay, I is a loop variable and j is a loop variable. Now using for loop we can iterate like this: I equal to 0, I less than 2, I plus plus. Okay, because 2 is representing the row size. Now consider column size 3. So j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. And you can print this here, printf. Usually you will write percentage %d, okay, a of I, j notation, right, in order to display the content in the form of a matrix. So line by line. Okay, so if you want I can write a message matrix is here. You can display the matrix content. Now let's execute this and see the result. So in order to display basically elements with some space after it, you have to write percentage %wd format, okay, where w is representing the width. So I have used 3 characters width. So one character will be printed and remaining 2 characters will act as spaces. Okay. So this is how we generally print a two-dimensional array. Now I'll replace this with its corresponding notation using pointers, that is a star of a plus I plus j. Okay. Now let's run this code and see the result. You can see matrix is there are 2 rows and 3 columns. Okay, the same matrix is displayed using this, yes or no? So as I told, there are 2 indices because this is a two-dimensional array. To access the content you have to use a double star here, that is a 1 star and then another star. Suppose if you are writing only a single star, then I'll show you what happens here. If you are not writing 2 stars and writing a single star like this, then you will end up printing all the addresses. Okay, suppose there are, since it is address, you can see the result is this one. These are all addresses that are allocated for this particular matrix. Okay, so if you want to access the content inside it, you have to use another star here. Okay, so it is completely closed, right? Yeah. Now let's run and see the result. You can see like this you will get. Now let us suppose if I wanted to basically read the entire content of the matrix, then in that case at runtime you can store like this. For example, this is something like 10 here, Okay, and also this is another 10 by 10 two-dimensional array I'm taking, but you can prompt the user to basically enter the order of the matrix. Okay, so printf enter order of matrix. Okay, now you have to read that particular matrix, that is percentage d address of p comma address of q. Okay, later you need to prompt the user to enter those many elements, like enter percentage d elements. Okay, so which means exactly p into q elements. And once the user starts entering those many elements, you can start reading them. Okay, I less than p because p is representing the row size, and j equal to 0, j less than q, j plus plus because j is representing the column, that is okay, so q is representing the size of the column. And now I'll use this scanf statement in order to read these elements. So percentage d, okay, as the address I have already shown you, this is representing clearly the address, right? So you have to store the element inside that address and then you can access it. So again, since we have taken p by q as the order, you have to use that p by q order in order to display these elements. So let's run this code and see the result. Enter order of the matrix. For example, order of the matrix is 3 by 3. It will prompt you to enter 9 elements. The elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And you can now see the matrix is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like this. Okay. So this is how you can use concept of pointers to access and store content in the two-dimensional array. Okay.